Hello. In this short lecture I will give you a couple of reasons for the non-existence of God. The first reason that God doesn't exist is because of the fact that God is perfect, so he could have never created such a world that is imperfect. So that is the first reason why God doesn't exist. The second reason why God doesn't exist because God could have never created the human beings that are capable of doing evil and bad things and crimes and sins and so on. Because God is perfect, so He could have created creatures that are not capable to do wrong and bad and sins and crimes at all. And in addition, why God created the human beings in the first place? It has nothing to do but to test the human beings. He could have created perfect creatures that can never do evil. And in addition, because of the fact that God knows the future, knows what will happen in the future, God knew that the human beings will do evil and wrong things and crimes and sins and so on. So from that reason, He would have never created them because He is perfect, and He would have created only perfect creatures that will never do evil and bad things at all. So that is the second reason why God doesn't exist. The third reason why God doesn't exist is that the God would have never created such a world that there is so much violence and cruelty and murders and wars and humans' sufferings and also a lot of poverty and hunger and a lot of natural disasters such as an earthquakes, floods and hurricanes and so on. So God would have never created such imperfect world. Okay? And the fourth reason why God doesn't exist is that God would have never created such a reality that the very existence of the predator is dependent in his ability to kill the prey, to kill other animal. This reality is very cool reality, and God would have never created such cruel and injustice reality that the lion must kill the deer or the lamb or other animals in order to survive. So that reality, such a reality that the existence of one animal is dependent in the killing of other animal would have never created by the God. Okay, so that was the fourth reason why God doesn't exist. And the fifth reason why God doesn't exist, that there are actually three monotheistic religions, and monotheistic is defined as a belief in one God or the oneness of God. And those religions are the Judaism, the Christianity, and the Islam, and they actually contradict each other in the description of how God created the world. And they also don't have the same God. The God of the Judaism is not the God of the Christianity or the Islam. So because of the contradictions between the three monotheistic religions, and because of the fact that they have different gods, we can deduce from it that all the three religions are not true, they are fake. They are actually the invention of the human beings themselves. And God was created by the human beings. God was invented by the human beings, and God doesn't exist at all. Okay, and the sixth and the last reason why God doesn't exist is actually a logic reason. So we logically can say that God, it is impossible logically that God can exist for the simple reason that we can ask a simple question: if God is able to create such a big stone that he cannot lift, that he himself cannot lift. And if the answer to this question is positive, that God can create such a big stone that he cannot lift, so there is something that God is not able to do. That is to say, God is not able to lift the stone that he himself created. And from that reason we can deduce that God is not omnipotent. Okay? And if the answer to that question is negative, that is to say that God is not able to create such a stone that he cannot lift himself, that he himself cannot lift, we can deduce from that thing that God is not omnipotent, because he is not able to create such a stone. So God is not omnipotent. So from that example we can deduce that it is impossible that a being that is impotent is actually exist. Okay, so that is the sixth reason why God doesn't exist, and that was all the reasons why God doesn't exist at all. Okay, thank you very much.